the best maze event ever released just hit the game, and by that I mean it literally has all the dragons in it that I've ever wanted, so therefore it is the best thing ever. But anyway, this is the new maze event with the brand new Haunted Professor Dragon, and there is actually this dragon. There is a collection relating to the Haunted family, and there is a skill skin for this dragon coming up very soon. But that's not the only new stuff that we've got today. We do have a whole maze guide that I'll go through. We do also have the brand new dragon. So at the moment we've got Mr. Evader over here, but if you check your offers in game, you will actually see the new strategist dragon, GALE the Strategist. So we've got two different sets of new dragons coming in at the moment, and very nice birdily dragony design, I will say. Wind, magic, energy, and flame is certainly an interesting one. But this does mean that you can see this dragon in game now, and if you check the skill on her, it says Hyper Shot, so critical hits will also deal damage to all opponents, which is the strategist one. Then we've got Grinding Gale, which deals damage and heals the user, and then we've got Grinding Gale Plus, which deals damage and heals the user, which it's showing that as an upgraded trainable skill. So I'm not sure how accurate this is, because, you know, we get lots of bugs in the game these days, but you know, having an attack that actually does deal damage and heals you, and if it's crit, it's going to deal damage to everyone, sounds pretty good to me, and also pretty good looking dragon at the same time. So definitely interesting to have. It just sounds like this dragon has the potential to have too much going on in its kit. It'd be like an arcana of sorts, but we'll wait to see exactly how this dragon plays out. It's only day one, so we'll have to do some testing first before we have a good opinion or reliable one on it. But that is the new dragon. So as I mentioned, we do actually have a new collection coming up for the Haunted Professor Dragon with his skin, but you can't actually see it in the collections at the moment, and that's because it's not out yet. It will be out shortly. And then the other thing that we have, which is Halloween-y themed on top of the All Hallow Screams, is the new Arena Showdown. And so this is the one that has all the stuff relating to Cytherian Empress in it. So we have this where if you get Vampire Wings, Vampire Fangs, and Vampire Hearts, then you can get bonus stuff, and obviously the Orbs chests as well. So we've got that, we've got rank up coins, we've got jokers, but out of this chest, I don't know, I guess you'd be hoping for high 7 or one of the random dragons. But yeah, lots of Halloween-y goodness going on, and that does mean that if you are playing the arena, then if you do face the Cytherian Empress, well, you should expect that you're going to face that scary set of skill skins. Yeah, here it is. So this is the Juices Arena Showdown, and as they mentioned before, the chosen tribute this time is Cytherian Empress. So you need to have gotten her from the previous collection with the skill skin, and I did get her. In fact, I did get the skill skin. So here she is in all of her glory, hotty thotty. I just didn't get around to uploading it yesterday because I was busy playing Metaphor, but this is the hotty thotty. With her lovely leech fang on top. So we could use her, but at the moment I'm just using my usual dragons. But anyway, coming back to the big boy, the bestest thing in the world. This time with the maze event, it's not actually clear as to what you're going to prefer to go for, and I'm just going to say it outright. This time, I am not going down the keys path. I am going straight for the haunted paths. Haunted paths and probably the the puzzle and the flight stamps path, because we do actually have a flight stamps path this time, which is wonderful. It's actually the haunted path. So you see on the time limited haunted path that unlocks in just under 6 days, we actually have flight stamps, and we have a ghost, and we have haunted, and we have this item, which is the Professor's Globe. And this is the item that you will need in order to get your hands on the new skin. So if you want the new skin for the Professor, make sure that you collect all of these Professor's items. And there's one of these available in each of the Haunted Dragon paths. So like on the green path here with Ghosty Haunted, if we just make our way through, you'll see that there's another one of these Professor's Globes here, and then the final one is on the actual Haunted Professor Dragon's path here. So again, we'll make our way through. Yeah, we've got some extra event items on our way through. Blah, blah, blah. Where is it? There is it. There is it right there. So you will need 3 of these from each of the haunted paths if you want to actually get the collection finished. And so that means that if you want to know what other paths you can go down on top of these paths, because you're going to have to save up all your currency and then spend it in like the 6 days when it unlocks, the 9 days when it unlocks, and then the 10 days when the final one unlocks. But all the costs are here, and there are Group A and Group B differences this time. So that's something you need to be aware of. But the currency that's available from resets is 22,000. From quests is 400, 700 starter, 3,000 from runner, and 6,000 puzzle, which means there's 32,100 without ads available. But then if you want to take a look at how much each path costs, well, we've got the keys path, which is 24,970, and it does have a lot of earmuffs. It's got a lot of Hallow Ghosts, and it's got insignias for the spiked, for instance. But if you're going to be ignoring that path like me because you want everything haunted related, then you'll want to be looking at these 3 paths, which would also be for Group B, these 3 paths. So if we go the Haunted plus flight stamps, that's 5,300 for Group A players. Then Haunted Night is 9,500, and then the new Haunted Professor is 9,895. So you know what? Let's bring out the good old-fashioned calculator and do some very basic maths right here. We could do it in our heads, but anyway. So we've got 9,895, and then you're going to add the 9,500, and then you add the 5,300, and that is how much it is going to be just for the Haunted and Flight Stamps paths. Now, if you also want to do the puzzle path, it should be very doable. So that one's 2,590, and that's 27,285, which is actually really easily doable, even just with like the base amount of currency that we've got. You will need to do the resets, and you will have to do the puzzle plus runner event to get enough, or at least during the puzzle event you'd have to do the basic resets plus puzzle. That means that you've got a leeway of probably about 5,000, just under 5,000, and then if you get lots from ads, well, you're going to have a lot more leeway than that. But that does mean that you might want to make your way through like the start of the keys path on top, because, you know, you can go do all of the haunted paths, and then once you've spent enough and, you know, you've gotten all the dragons, you got what you wanted, then you could go and do the keys path at the end. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. So this time, pick the one that you want. If you want to focus on the event collections for the Screams collection, so for the earmuffs, and if you also want to focus on the All Hallows Screams, you would go down the keys path. But again, if you do that, you will end up missing out on the lovely Haunted collection. So this time, you got to pick and choose what you want to do to begin with, and I knew exactly where my heart would be the second that I knew of this. So of course I'm going to be saving up my currency. I will spend currency on the puzzle path as well, just because it makes everything a hell of a lot easier. It makes puzzle really doable, and so because we will have puzzle coming up, I would highly recommend that you get the puzzle quests open as well. We should also have quests for the Haunted family as well coming up, but wait until tomorrow for that. But, you know, Ditlep also has a lot of this information and how much each item is going to be on each path, so you can always check that. But if we check the puzzle island itself, I always recommend keeping this open. And with 17 hours to go until this event at the time of recording, it does mean that you can start pre-breeding and, you know, get these dragons ready for the breeding section. You can't get the second set of quests, you know, prepared anymore because, well, we don't have 2 sets of breeding anymore. We've got this new fandangled puzzle questing, which I don't like, but it does mean that you can prepare the food, for instance. So what I've done over here, you'll see that in some of my farms I've got 1-day food planted, and in the other farms I've got 12-hour food planted. That's just to make sure that I can always do some sort of food collect when it comes up. So I'm just going to pop in some more piranha plants, and then once it's 24 hours we can get an easy insta collect on the 1-day food. So that's what I would do in advance. And then also you'll notice that the first quest of puzzle is going to be breed electric dragons. So what I do for that, let's go and get Hallows hatched over here somewhere. Anywhere else to put him? Nah, let's just pop him over there for now. But you can just breed together like 2 energy dragons if you want to simplify the process. It's nice and easy that way. You don't have to think about it. You can do some other combinations in actuality, but if you just want to simplify the whole process, you would just slap in some electric dragons slash energy dragons, whatever you want to call them based on the dragon game that you came from, but you would just breed those two together. I've got other breedings going on at the minute with them, as you can see there, so I have to take those out in a moment, but doing that pre-breed in advance just puts you a very slight step ahead, and the less time you have to waste waiting for things, the better off you're gonna be. And with puzzle events as well, you will have quests where you have to, you know, you will get bonus points for doing quests. So if you do have any quests saved up, like this Black Frost quest, for instance, save that for the puzzle event. I wouldn't recommend waiting on the maze event quests because you do actually need to do those to get the bonus currency. But one really, really good quest to take advantage of during puzzle event is this one right here, the Rhino Rage one, because you see how many stages we've got, and if you can upgrade your dragon and use him as part of the puzzle event, you will get so many extra moves. So it's a really, really good time to be doing your Rhinodillo quests. I almost said the wrong name then. Don't mind me. I've been using the wrong name for a little while now, but yeah, like I said, I'd highly recommend popping in those electric dragons. So just so that I don't forget, I am going to do this. I actually forgot to use my tower currency at the end because, I'll be honest, I woke up incredibly late I haven't even taken them out yet. I did wake up late this morning and I didn't even spend them in the end. And I completely forgot about it even existing. I'm sure we can still trade for silenced anyway because there's going to be plenty of people with the dragon, but that was an oopsie-poopsie. A big oopsie-poopsie indeed. And normally when you're doing these breeds, I'd suggest not going for any empowerment breeds just because it will waste time. But, you know, if you could say go for movie fanatic when you don't have it unlocked yet, that's great. I don't know if I'd be able to even reach that anyway. I'm just going to do this random breed with these two, and you see I've got a 30-minute timer. That's exactly what we'd want when it comes time for it. So it's a little bit early, but as long as we've got it ready, and then we can do what we want with our other two breeding dens here. So that is how you'd want to prepare for the puzzle event that's coming up. And again, the better you do in the puzzle event, the better you're going to do overall, because puzzle event is going to have tons of rewards like ghosts, it's going to have chests, and it will have new dragon in it as well. So definitely try and take advantage of that, get all the bonus event currency, the insignias, and the dragons, of course. So that is the other event to bear in mind. And then in a few days' time, we will have the runner event, and that is when the path will open up with the haunted dragon, and that's when the haunted collecting actually begins. And so with runner events, you can get bonus currency all the way up to here. So that's plus 1,000, and then you've got all the other pluses on the way through, but there's lots of ghosts, there's insignias, there's gems, and of course, dragon. So you always want to try and do as well as you can in these puzzle events. There's tons of really good, not puzzle, runner events. There's lots of really good stuff. It's just kind of weird that we're getting the new dragons from the other events now, but then we've just got patchwork in runner event. I mean, I don't mind too much. Anyway, I think he's a cute dragon, but runner events are very rewarding. They just require a lot of effort. And same thing with puzzle events. Puzzle events are very rewarding, but they take a lot of effort. So there is that. But I do like these maze events when they actually make it so that there isn't just one correct option. It very much depends on what you want to do with it. Oh, look, we got some gemmies and some doomy. That's nice. But I hate it when they make these maze events and there's like only one choice that's actually a viable one. But this time, 100%, I'm going to the end of these paths, getting duplicates of these dragons. And then if we've got specific quests for them, you know, we can do all of those as well. But I've said it before and I've said it again, my plan was always to take the haunted dragons to E5. For E5, level 69. Or possibly, I could make an exception for this whole family and take all of them to 70. Because I've said it before, and I'll say it again, my exception cases to level 69 rule, it's that every single dragon on my profile will be level 69, except for Sinful Vampire, because he was the very first VIP that I got my hands on and wanted to max, or the Haunted Family, because Haunted Hottie Family, or Handsome Poo. Handsome Poo also can go to E5 level 69/70, probably 70. So that is going to be the long con on the profile. Not that it really matters, it's completely pointless, but it's good to have a goal, right? But anyway, I think that is most of the new stuff for today, so I'll remind you to collect your daily insignia. Let me know how this dragon and the skill skin is going, because yes, there is the skill skin for the new strategist dragon, which I don't really care about because I'm free to play and I'm not going to be buying it. But there's a few interesting things going on at the moment. We do have leaderboard that's still ongoing as well. But for now, I am going to keep grinding out this arena and also praying for the best in terms of my ads so I can get maximum value out of the maze event. But I don't know. I know that it wasn't made for me, this whole event. It was the sponsorship thing, like with the YouTubers that these skins are based on. But I don't even care. This feels like the perfect event for me. So no matter how annoyed I am at all the recent bugs and that massive collection bug and the way that that's been handled, I'm placated for now just because Haunted got a new dragon as part of the family. So yeah, don't worry. My criticisms are still there. It's just I can ignore them for like a few days, or at least until this maze event is over. But I do love my maze events. I think maze events are the most chilled, they are the best, and they are the most rewarding and give the coolest stuff these days. And this one just kind of proves it.